Hey folks, welcome to another numeracy video. In this video, we're going to be looking at enlarging objects. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so what we're going to do is a couple of things about enlarging objects here. Now, when you're looking at this rectangle shape here, and if I want to enlarge it, the main idea is that you're kind of actually making the shape bigger, but also keeping the height and the width proportionate. So for example, if I was to take this one, and if I was to do this, where I'm just dragging one of those sides, this is not known as enlargement, all right? So this is not enlargement. So I can't do this, and I can definitely not do this. This is also not known as enlargement. But what we really want to be doing is, if I take that corner, notice how the shape of this rectangle, it still keeps that same shape. This is what enlarging is. And of course you can actually enlarge it bigger, or you can actually make it tinier as well, but that just means that you're still keeping the same aspect ratio for that rectangle. All right, so with these rhombus here, what I can show you folks is that if I drag from the middle points, then what happens is it's kind of getting stretched, but the shape of the rhombus is actually different now. So this is, again, not enlarging. And likewise, if I do it from dragging one of the bottom points down, then again, this is not enlarging. It's actually turning out to be a completely different shape. But if I take the edges and if I kind of pull it out, then what's happening is this particular two kites are the same shape, but except one of them is actually enlarged. And another key thing to remember with enlargement is that whatever this angle X, this is still going to be angle X. And if this is angle Y, then this is going to be angle Y, regardless of how big the shape ends up being. All right, let's have a look at one last shape here. We'll have a look at this parallelogram. And once again, if I do it from the side, then you see this is just these two shapes. You can clearly see that they're not the same shapes. And likewise, if I drag the base, and it's actually becoming a lot more straighter than a parallelogram. So that's just to keep in mind. But if I drag this corner, the bottom, the bottom right corner, then I can still keep the shape of the parallelogram the same. And that also means that the angles that I have, so for example, this angle here is going to be X, this is going to be X, this angle here is Y, and this angle is also going to be Y. So when it comes to enlarging objects, we want to make sure that if you extend the width, you've also got to extend the height, and you have to keep the same ratio together. Otherwise, you end up kind of skewing the object that you're working with. Now, you might be wondering, where is this useful? If you're doing any kind of Illustrator work on Photoshop or working with vectors, you really want to make sure you keep aspect ratio. Particularly for photo editing, it's really useful. Let me show you a quick example. All right, folks, so here is a little portrait of a tiger here. Now what happens is that if I drag the corner here, and if I reduce this, so notice how I've not enlarged it, but I've actually made it smaller. But if I was to drag the corner here and kind of make it bigger, then it's keeping the aspect ratio. Now, for some reason, if I don't actually choose the corner piece, or like if I actually just go right like this is not enlarging. It's just kind of like skewing the picture, so you can kind of see what's happening to the picture. And likewise, if I drag it from the middle there, then your tiger is going to look a little bit munted. So this is what happens with aspect ratios. So you've got to maintain the original aspect ratio for images, especially when it comes to enlarging. So here we go. I'm enlarging this photo now, and that's going to fit in nicely because I've maintained the shape of that tiger as much as I can. And folks, that pretty much sums up enlarging objects there. But yeah, pretty useful in Photoshop when editing photos, and a few other things as well. All right, folks, that is basically it for this video. As always, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to keep up with the latest content. Now, there should be a couple of playlists popping up here and here. Great material for revision, and as always, thank you for watching.